I'm Riley from Pack Hacker, and today we're taking a detailed look at the Eagle Creek Wayfinder mini backpack, which I've been testing for the last 2 weeks. It's a pretty simple bag overall, but we're still going to get into the nitty-gritty, so you can head on over to packhacker.com for the full written review, link in the description below, and let's go ahead and jump in. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do with looking at this bag is talk a little bit about the harness system. So as you can see, just with the shoulder straps, there's really not a ton of padding here. You know, they're relatively thin. There is some, as you can see, and it's relatively dense, but just thin overall, which you don't really need anything crazy because this bag only holds about 12.5 liters of gear, so it's fine for the amount that you're most likely going to be carrying in here. And they do have, you know, this like neat design on them, which is cool, even though, you know, people really aren't going to see this because it's against your body, but it is very neat. It looks like very wavy, so we like that. And then the back panel does have pretty cushy padding, at least compared to the shoulder straps, and it's been really comfortable to wear. Again, we don't really need anything crazy for something that's this small. And then you also have this handle here at the top, which, as you can see, is pretty small, so if you kind of have like a bigger hand, it's going to maybe be a little bit more difficult to grab this because it's very tiny. And it's not the most comfortable because it's really just folded over strap, but it's convenient enough just when you're grabbing the bag, or you need to slide it to grab something out. There's also the Eagle Creek logo here on the shoulder strap, which doesn't stand out crazy. And then the straps here don't have any elastic keepers. We haven't had a whole bunch of issues with dangling just because, you know, this is really the only amount of strap that's left over, so it hasn't been crazy compared to some other bags that we adjust where there's, you know, a whole bunch of straps. So yeah, but if you'd like to add your own, you can do that if that is like an issue for you, because some strap is too much strap for some people. So all right, and then while we're back here, we'll talk a little bit about this hidden pocket. As you can see, or really as you can see, because it's relatively well hidden. It blends in nicely with this back panel, and it sits directly against your back, so it's a lot more secure, which means you can keep a lot more valuable stuff back here. It's also lined with fleece, so you can put like your phone in here and not have to worry about it getting scratched. You can keep like a passport or, you know, really important documents, maybe your wallet in here, just so that way it's not all the way on the inside of your bag, but it's still secure. So that's a handy feature. It also has a zipper garage that the zipper can go into, just for extra security and an extra clean hidden look, so that's great. Flip this around. You also, if you'll notice here at the bottom, there's a loop that you can attach a bike light to or other accessories, but if you know, are out really late at night or really early in the morning and you're looking for more visibility, a bike light would be great there. And then you also have these really smooth attachment points here at the top as well that you can attach like carabiners and accessories to for some external storage. And then there's a front pocket here. It goes about this far on the bag, so relatively most of the front, like 3/4 of the way. And in here you have a pretty standard key clip, so we just have our keys attached here. It's nothing special, it's not very long, so you know, you do have to take your keys off in order to unlock your door in most cases. So other than that, it's done a fine enough job. Our keys haven't slipped off, which sometimes happens with this kind of opening on a key clip. So yeah, that's been working decently. And then in here, we just been keeping a small notebook for when we need to jot stuff down, but it has a pretty bright blue liner, which is nice. It's really easy to see everything that's in here, and you can pack this out with really any other quick grab items you might have. You know, if you have a pair of glasses you want to throw in here, more documents, snacks, whatever the case may be. You have that option. All right. Another Eagle Creek logo there at the top, which is relatively subtle, but still noticeable, so you'll know what brand you're carrying. And then these zipper pulls here have been really easy to grab onto. They have the Eagle Creek logo on them as well, and so they've made for really nice smooth zips throughout our testing, which is nice. And then this bag's pretty simple overall. We're gonna get into the main compartment here in a second. And then we have the water bottle pocket here on the side as well that we want to mention. So as you can see, it's mesh and it does secure with some elastic at the top, so it's all right in the stretch department, not crazy. It's not going to flex to anything too big bottle wise. So I did most of my testing with just like a standard, 16.9 ounce water bottle, and it fit just fine, but you're going to have some trouble fitting anything crazy big in here, like a 32 ounce Nalgene bottle or anything like that. It's probably not going to flex to here. So if that's what you're carrying, you could keep it on the inside of the compartment, but again, keep in mind this only holds about 12.5 liters of gear, so you kind of want everything in here, all the room in here for your everyday basics, because you're not going to have a lot of excess room. But we'll open it up so you can see here. So we'll talk about the organization on this front flap first. So you have just kind of like a medium-sized divider pocket right here, which we've just been keeping a phone charger in for easy access. And then we also have 2 sleeves here, so we just have pens in there, but you can keep pencils, markers, a stylus in there as well. And then beneath this setup, you have a mesh pocket, which is larger. It's definitely not the highest quality mesh we've ever felt, but it does offer a lot of visibility of what's inside. So you can just keep, other smaller tech accessories in here. If you are going to be carrying tech in this bag, you can keep, your headphones in there. You can keep another charger in there, batteries, SD cards, whatever the case may be. Although, if you do have a ton of tech accessories, you're most likely going to want to incorporate just a separate, smaller tech pouch. It will have to be smaller just because if it's anything too big, it's going to take up a whole bunch of room in this compartment. And again, you don't have a lot of room in here. So then we have another Eagle Creek logo right there. So you can see that as soon as you open it. And then there is a sleeve back here. So this is, a great spot if you want to keep like a tablet or an e-reader, extra documents, a larger notebook. We were able to fit a laptop in this sleeve. It's not really advertised to hold like large laptops or anything like that. We have just a 13-inch MacBook Pro in here at the moment. But so if you have like a 16-inch MacBook Pro or anything like that, you're gonna have a tough time getting it in here. We even had to take the protective sleeve off of our 13-inch MacBook Pro to get it in here. So if you have a smaller tech, that'll work fine in here. If not, you will have to let it free float or put it in a protective sleeve in this free space. So just keep that in mind. And even when we were keeping our laptop in this sleeve, this kind of hood of fabric that sits over the bag was kind of frustrating because every time we go to pull it out, it kind of gets stuck on this fabric. It gets caught. It's not the most quickest access is basically what we're trying to say. So again, that's another thing to note. Yeah, and then the rest of this compartment really is just free space. You have a decent amount of room, and I mean, we've been able to fit just like a sweatshirt there in the bottom. And then if you, again, have like a smaller pouch for your tech or, other accessories you want to keep segmented, you can keep that on the top because there's not a ton of organization going on here. It's just kind of like the basics. But that's really what this bag is for. It's just the basics. Carrying around your essentials, really, more than anything else. And then material-wise, it's made with a 300D ripstop material. The grid-like pattern on here is kind of cool. We're kind of digging that. And then there's a water-resistant coating here on the bottom, so that's great if you you know, are encountering any puddles, if you have to set the bag down when it's wet on the ground, that kind of helps give some added protection there. But yeah, overall, just a very simple, everyday essential bag. It's been working fine. You know, the material's held up well. It's been relatively comfortable. Just not like a ton of space, ton of organization, but if you're just looking for something for the everyday, you know, for quick trips, this is definitely one to check out. So there you have it. That is the Eagle Creek Wayfinder mini backpack. You can head on over to packhacker.com for more information and the best buying options that help support the channel at no additional cost to you. Link down below, and we'll see you in the next video.